A man closed his eyes for 15 minutes and claimed he entered another reality. You're lying in a darkened room. A red laser cuts across the wall in front of you. At first, it looks ordinary, static, harmless. Then the DMT takes hold. The room begins to distort. Patterns start moving beneath the laser light. Symbols appear inside the beam itself. Someone raises their hand through the light, and the code appears to bend around their fingers. Some people later claim the patterns resembled ancient symbols, machine language, or what became nicknamed online as the God Code. Others believe they were seeing structures normally hidden from human perception, and according to several reports, multiple people claim they could see it. For thousands of years, humans have used naturally occurring substances to alter consciousness. Ancient rituals, spiritual ceremonies, healing practices. Across different cultures, people repeatedly described visions, voices, entities, and places that felt beyond ordinary reality. But in modern laboratories, something unusual began happening. Scientists started hearing the same kinds of reports again. People who had never met each other, from different countries, different backgrounds, different beliefs, were describing remarkably similar experiences after taking DMT, a powerful naturally occurring psychedelic compound, scientifically known as DMT. And some researchers began asking a difficult question. Why were so many people describing the same kinds of beings? In the 1990s, American psychiatrist Dr. Rick Strassman conducted one of the first modern government-approved human DMT studies at the University of New Mexico. Strassman was not a conspiracy theorist. He was a trained medical doctor and clinical researcher. Between 1990 and 1995, dozens of volunteers were given carefully controlled doses of DMT under medical supervision. Heart monitors recorded their physical responses. Medical staff observed them continuously. Detailed interviews were conducted afterward. Many participants described entering environments that felt completely separate from ordinary reality. Some reported geometric spaces filled with impossible colours and shifting patterns. Others described losing all sense of time and identity. But what caught attention most were the entity encounters. Participants repeatedly described meeting intelligent beings. Some appeared human-like, others resembled insects, machine-like forms, glowing figures, or what some interpreted as alien presences. Several volunteers claimed the entities seemed aware of them personally. A few said communication happened without words. Some accounts described strange figures, helpers, or beings that seemed to observe, examine, or interact with the person. Another recurring phrase from DMT reports is that the experience felt more real than waking life. Strassman later wrote about these reports in his book, DMT, The Spirit Molecule, which helped bring DMT research into wider public discussion. And decades later, the reports did not stop. Researchers connected with Johns Hopkins later examined thousands of DMT experiences reported by users. The survey involved more than 2,500 participants. Many claimed they encountered beings they believed were conscious, intelligent, and independent from themselves. Common descriptions included guides, spirits, watchers, teachers, helpers, and other forms of seemingly autonomous presence. A large percentage of participants said the experience changed their understanding of reality, consciousness, or death. Some became less afraid of dying afterward. Others believed they had briefly entered another dimension entirely. Of course, many scientists argue these experiences are the result of extreme changes inside the brain itself. Researchers at Imperial College London used advanced brain imaging while volunteers were under the effects of DMT. Scans showed major increases in communication between different regions of the brain. Areas linked to memory, imagination, emotion, and visual processing became unusually connected. To neuroscientists, This may help explain why the experiences feel so vivid, immersive, and emotionally overwhelming. But supporters of the more mysterious interpretation point to something else: the consistency. Why do so many unrelated people report similar themes? Why do certain entity descriptions repeat? Why do some users insist the experience feels less like dreaming and more like entering a place? And then, the story became even stranger. In recent years, online reports began spreading around a man named Danny Gawler. Gawler became associated with claims involving lasers, patterns, and DMT perception experiments. According to reports and interviews circulated online, participants under the effects of DMT claimed they could see code-like symbols or structures appearing within laser diffraction patterns projected onto walls. Some described the symbols as layered, intelligent, and responsive. Others claimed the patterns shifted around moving hands or appeared to react to human interaction. The reported visuals became known online by names such as the God Code, Source Code, and Alien Code. Supporters of the claims argued the patterns looked less like random hallucinations and more like structured information. Danny Gawler later became associated with a project called Code of Reality, exploring the idea that DMT may temporarily alter perception in ways not fully understood by modern science. Videos, podcasts, discussions, and demonstrations surrounding the experiment spread widely online, drawing both fascination and skepticism. And so did another development: extended DMT sessions. Normally, inhaled DMT experiences only last several minutes, but researchers including Dr. Rick Strassman and neurobiologist Andrew Gallimore explored the possibility of maintaining the DMT state for much longer using controlled intravenous infusion systems. The idea was simple but controversial. What happens if someone remains inside that experience long enough to study it properly? Instead of a brief burst, what if a person could stay there? Some individuals who reportedly underwent extended DMT sessions later described prolonged contact experiences, structured environments, and encounters with beings they believed were observing or interacting with them. One online account described a man claiming that while under prolonged DMT infusion, he believed entities examined and worked on physical problems involving his heart and head. The account also included discussions around prayers reportedly spoken over the vials before the session. And despite modern science, advanced imaging, and decades of neurological research, one uncomfortable reality remains: the experience still resists easy explanation, because whether these visions originate pure inside the brain, or whether DMT somehow unlocks deeper layers of human consciousness, the people who experience it often return convinced they encountered something real. Not symbolic, not dreamlike, real. And perhaps that is the strangest part of all, because throughout history, humans have repeatedly searched for ways to step beyond ordinary perception. Ancient rituals, meditation, near-death experiences, isolation, dream states, psychedelics, different methods, different cultures, yet sometimes, eerily, similar descriptions: intelligent beings, other worlds, a feeling of contact, a sense that reality may be far larger than we normally perceive. So the question remains: is DMT simply chemistry inside the human brain, or has humanity been accidentally knocking on the same hidden door for thousands of years? And if something really is answering back, what exactly are people speaking to?